there. This is Francie White. I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner in Eugene, Oregon. And I wanted to show you a little what I call 5-minute Feldy for the hip joints. And so this should increase your agility in your hip joints. I'm only going to do one side, so you can just watch this twice and switch over to the other side on the second viewing. So here we go. So as usual, we start off and do a quick body scan just to kind of check in with yourself. Let all your anti-gravity muscles go. Notice your legs and your arms and your back and your pelvis, how everything's lying on the floor. And then when you're ready, actually just lift your, for right now, your left leg and leave your right leg extended if that's comfortable for you. So just begin the movement by taking your knee a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. And just start to notice how you do that. What are the muscle groups that are working here to make this possible? And try at first just to stay within your hip joint range. And so what I mean by that is don't go so far that your pelvis starts to actually tilt. So just explore what your hip joint range is all by itself without taking the pelvis one direction or the other. And just see how far you can go before your hip joints, your pelvis starts to turn. Just see how far you can go. And notice how this movement is traveling through you. Can you feel it up your spine? Can you feel the movement in your head maybe? Maybe your head wants to roll a little bit. Notice if you're holding any tension, like in your belly or your chest, in your shoulders, that may be preventing the movement from being as free as it could be. And then when you're ready, just start seeing how far you can go and notice where your pelvis starts to tilt. What is that total range? And just keep an eye on what else is moving as you do this movement. So this is internal and external rotation of the hip joint. This is obviously external, and this is internal. So now pause and rest for just a moment. And when you're ready, get on your side. I'm going to do the same leg. And now in this position, same left leg, take your left leg, your left knee a little bit towards your chest and a little bit away from your chest. So this is flexing the hip joint and this is extending the hip joint. So that's all 4 movements of the hip joint. Internal and external rotation and flexing and extending. And so again, just see how far you can go without without having your pelvis start tilting. Just explore that range. And notice where else can you feel this movement? Can you feel it up your spine? Can you feel it in your head? Resting whenever you need to. And always stay under any level of pain or discomfort. So if this is as far as you can go, then that's fine. Your nervous system actually can't tell the difference. So just do this much if that's all you can do. And then the connections will start to build. So always stay underneath any level of pain or discomfort. I can't say that enough. So if you can go this far, then do that. And start to bring it a little bit so that your pelvis starts to move. And notice what happens in your spine. So maybe your back starts to round and extend. And just do that really gently and just notice how that movement goes all the way up into your head. And it's these connections that we're looking for, so that when we're just wandering around or standing around looking bored, those connections are made, and it makes us easy. It makes it easier to stand around looking bored. And that's what we're looking for, ease. Okay, so come back onto your back, rest for a moment. And when you're ready, you can bring your knee up to your chest and just do a few circles. Do a few circles with your hand holding your knee. And feel that connection to the shoulder. Find a rhythm of breathing that makes the movement easier. And then you can let go of your knee and let the movement get bigger. You can even start doing foot circles. And change directions. And just keep an eye on what's happening in your hip joint. Feel how it's moving the pelvis around. And when it moves the pelvis around, it's going to move the spine around. And if it moves the spine around, it moves everything around. So you could even play with this a little bit, starting to take your foot a little bit left and right. You eventually touch your foot onto the floor over there. Maybe your knee. And notice how you might even start to come up onto your side. And just do these circles in either direction you want. You're just playing with your foot. This is what a baby will do when they're starting to learn how to live in this world and move in this world. They just play. And then when you're ready, stop, rest. And actually, before you get up, notice how awesome your hip joint feels. Just compare your hip joint with your other hip joint and notice the difference. I can feel a huge difference here. And then when you're ready, get up and go about your day. And thanks for watching. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you'll have all of these videos available as soon as they come up. See you next time.